my cup runneth over. And I just want to sort of take you through some of the day, and how phenomenal these humans are that I got to be in communion with. I legitimately think that was the most hugs I've ever given to any group of people over that many hours. Like, I'll start with this. And I'm not gonna say what all the stuff we did, but as we got checked in and the steel door pulled back, and then we came inside, and then they closed it back on us, I could hear a roar. All of us, roar! Just so much sound. People cheering. And as the door started to open, we could see them jumping up and down, so happy, so cheerful, so grateful that we were coming to see them, coming to work with them. These young and some old entrepreneurs, all young in spirit. And I'll spare you the details of what we did. It was kind of like Shark Tank, where they pitch their ideas to us, and then we give them feedback, and we did some really beautiful, emotional, intelligent stuff, and really just dropped in with each other. But there was a point where I had an opportunity to share what was coming up for me and my truth. And I did so, and even before that, there were some of the guys who were speaking that I just deeply connected with. They were so beautiful and so childlike. And this particular prison doesn't get any programs because they have violence every single day. They have somebody stabbed almost every day. And I asked the guys, and they said, yeah, no one comes here because there's so much violence that California won't give funding or whatever the case may be. It's just... And even we're gonna try to come back, but it's like a journey. But there was this kid, Michael, who there was a point when she said, step to the line, step forward if you haven't had any visitors for 6 months. And before that, anything she was saying, he was already crying. Every time we caught eyes, he started crying. And of course, I see him crying, I start crying. And every prompt that she said, I could just feel his heart pulsating, just like, I need love, I need a hug, I need somebody. And when she said, step forward if you haven't had anybody visit you in 6 months. And he stepped forward and he broke down in tears. It hit me so deep that Michael was me. Like, I could have easily been him. Some of the things those guys did in there were things you've done. Type yes, truthfully, if you have ever driven your car while drinking, like while you've been intoxicated. Type yes. Let's just be honest. How many of you have ever driven knowing that you just drank alcohol? Because I will say yes to that. And type yes if you've ever punched somebody or grabbed somebody's hair or pushed somebody down when you were 15 or 16 or 18 or 12 or 9. Because those are some of the things that got these guys in there. And yet, these decisions that all of us have done are different for certain people, depending on where they committed those crimes. But the thing for me is I didn't see inmates. I didn't see prisoners. I saw family. I saw brothers. I saw people that I deeply connect with. And they saw the same. And so the guys just kept coming back to me and wanting to talk to me and wanting to hug me and high five. And there was so much love that my cup is just straight up so full. And it made me realize, once again, why Man Cave and Man Cave Jr. and Man Cave Elite is so important. This is why I do this work, because these boys who happen to be 30-something-year-old men, 22-year-olds, who some have life, never got that type of training. They never got the type of support and to be in the space of a conscious man who's just as powerful. I wasn't afraid of any of them. Literally, 80% of them had face tattoos covering everything, ears and everything. 80% of them. She said, step to the line if you've spent more than 6 months in the shoe, which is maximum, you're in basically a hole, like a bathroom, with no human contact for more than 6 months. And almost every guy took a step forward. Then she said, stay there if you've spent more than a year without human contact. Half the guys stayed. Stay there if you've ever spent more than 3 years without human contact, locking them up like a motherfucking dog. These are people. These are your sons. Humans. These guys cried, buckets of tears today. And so did I. And I didn't cry because I was sad for them. I cried because I was proud of them. And I was grateful that I had an opportunity to be in these men's space. Because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does stupid stuff. All of us. Just some of us get caught up in the system. And unfortunately, the system is set up for certain people to have certain experiences. So of course, that room was mainly Hispanic and Black. There was so much stuff I could talk about here. All I want to say is if anybody ever gives you an opportunity to visit a prison and give back in that way, please take it. It's one of the best things I've ever chosen to do. I met a woman there who goes to other prisons every 3 weeks. And so I'm going to start doing that. If any of you want to come with me, I'll definitely, just message me if you're in California or LA and you want to have that experience. But these guys, this is not a rehabilitation center, and yet these guys are making a way. I talked to a couple of the guys, and one of them said, "You know what, man? I don't do anything. I left the gang. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I read business books. I just finished Napoleon Hill's, whatever Napoleon wrote. And I'm just excited to give back." That's what he told me. I'm just excited to give back. I got 8 more years. I'm just excited to give back. I met a kid, Damien, who, when they had the opportunity to tell their story, he said, I come from a beautiful family. I never committed one crime in my life. My whole world, everything was perfect. My upbringing was perfect. Everything was perfect. And in the split moment, I made a decision that has me in here 25 to life. 25 to life. This is a 25-year-old young boy, a fucking little kid. He reminded me so much of Kingston, and it hit me so hard. I also met this other Hispanic guy named Daniel. Tattoos over his entire face. Even on his eyelids, tattoos. Huge. Everything, the whole thing. And he said, I've shot at people, and I've hurt a lot of people in my life, and I have a few years before I can potentially get out. And when I get out, I'm definitely not going back to the gang. And I'm definitely going to figure out how to be an entrepreneur and step away and create something, because I realized that I didn't have the upbringing or nobody taught me how to do this stuff. And the point of this program, Hustle 2.0, was the thing I went to. Defy is the name of the whole program. The whole point of it is to teach them how to be entrepreneurs, how to think outside of, because at one point she said, step forward if you've ever been self-employed and made sure that you took care of your family or something like that. And of course, all the entrepreneurs stepped forward. And at first, most of the prisoners didn't. And then they had a thought. I could see all of them thinking. And she said, you know, whether it was legal or illegal. And then all of them stepped forward. Because that same ingenuity, that same passion to you know, wake up early in the morning and iron your clothes and get ready for work and go to the streets and sell drugs or do whatever you do to survive. These are entrepreneurs. They've been running, you know, sometimes $1 million businesses that were considered illegal. They are. So the point of this whole thing is to help them use that same energy to create a lane for themselves when they get out. And I heard some beautiful, beautiful ideas. So thank you all. I'm going to be going back for sure. For any of you who want to come or you want to donate or be a part of this. And my request is that you send any boy or man to Man Cave. Man Cave Junior will be this summer in September. It'll be for 13, so we'll do 9 to 13 and 14 to 17. And it'll be a summer camp in California. And then we'll take that to Australia and different parts of the world once we've honed it in. But that's happening this year. Man Cave Elite is happening. Behind the scenes, nobody knows about it. It's invitation only, and Man Cave, the program is happening. And so please just send your people to us. Like, it's so important that we take care of each other. These were little boys who just made a few wrong turns here and there. Yeah, just love on your people and know that at any point, any of us, were the men, or any of the men in this group, allowed. If they were, yes, a lot of, she said, step forward if you've killed somebody. And some of them stepped forward. This is, and some of them were the sweetest humans. Like, you would never guess that this person killed somebody. And of course, we're not saying that that's okay. But I just wanted to remind everybody that, you know, people make mistakes. They do. And the way the prison system is set up often just makes them better criminals when they get out. And this particular prison is extremely violent, and they have stabbings and fights every day. When we got there, the alarm went off, and they told us, if that alarm goes off, when you're inside, just run to the wall and stop. The prisoners will fall to the ground. They sort of gave us the rundown of how it would work, and you know, nothing bad happened. These guys were freaking awesome. I will go back. I'm going to take my mom. When Kingston's old enough, I'll take him. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. So I just wanted to share that. Peace, love, and light. I appreciate you all. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, man.